Stop right there. Yeah, you. If you like all things entertainment, current events, or Hollywood, then look no further. Creator to Creators, hosted by director Meosha Bean of Horror Noir, interviews filmmakers and creatives from around the world. Join in on the fun, guest celebrities, and informative information to have as a creator. Hit subscribe and stay connected to Creator to Creators.
Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of Creator to Creators today. Today, we have a special guest.
CerVon Campbell.
Hey, welcome to the show.
I am so glad to be on with you.
Hey, me too. Me too. I started this podcast because, I like talking to people from all around like walks of life that are just like super uber talented and just doing what they're doing in the arts, and being a creator. And I love that like we happen to stumble upon each other on Instagram. I love
Hmm.
those. I love that. You're absolutely like you're super talented. Like you have such
Thank you.
amazing, like versatile voice, and I listened to a lot of your music and I was like, holy crap. I was vibing to it. It was really cool vibe. But I'd like to start from the beginning. Like, what was your childhood like and kind of like how did you kind of find your way into the industry?
My childhood was I was so involved in the church. My mom, she preached for a little bit, but she was mainly like the church secretary, and she still is. So I spent every day in church, even if there wasn't any actual program, we would be at the church making programs and doing stuff, setting stuff up. So very involved in that. My dad, he's in a band and they traveled a lot. Like they were really like they till this day, they've always traveled, performed like multiple times a week. He stays busy. And I kind of stumbled into everything on accident. My goal was to be a preacher. Like I did not want like anything like this at all. I wanted to be a preacher and I wanted to be a cop. So
Wow.
that was like that's exactly what I wanted to be. I wanted to help people. And then it kind of shifted from that to I wanted to be a teacher, which I'm still am for a good bit. And I don't know, I worked with kids a lot and my dad needed me to he was running late. I had got to an event before he did. So I had to kind of explain like, hey, he's running late, this, that, and this. And me doing that, I just started making jokes, like saying like everything that was going on while they was late. And I jumped into stand-up comedy. And I did comedy for a couple of years, and then I started doing poetry, and I just made a song for somebody else, and then I was doing demos for other people. And I finally had one. I just disagreed so hard on like what the direction she wanted to go with the song, so I made it myself and I put it out, and I just kept going. So I still write for other people mainly, but occasionally I'll throw something out for myself.
No, yeah, for sure. That's amazing. So, would you say that your family was very supportive of like whatever you did and your ventures in life?
Yeah, yeah, like they were reluctantly supportive. It was like, I mean, yeah, well, we'll take you there, this, that, and this. Yeah, we'll help a little bit. But once they started to see, like, okay, oh, you're making money. Okay, yeah, yeah, you know what? We're gonna pray over you. We're gonna make this happen. That's when they really jumped on board.
For sure. That's absolutely amazing. I love that, like how the path kind of just you did a lot of different things along your journey. I mean, stand-up comedy, I would have never thought that's
Everybody says that because
interesting.
I'm very, what I'm told, meek and very withdrawn from people.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my passion really. I love stand up way more than I love music. I just have a lot more
Wow.
fun with it.
Mm.
But I've never had like really like jobs. I've had careers and I just bounce career to career. So even now with music, stand up and touring, I still work a lot. So I try to stay busy.
That's cool. Who's your inspiration as far as like a comedian? Like one of your favorite comedians of why you do or why you do stand up or look up to that person.
Um, you know what? It changes so frequently. For like I'll have a comedian I'm obsessed with for a month, a couple of weeks, a month or so, or a few months, and then it'll shift to somebody else. When I first started stand up, I was doing it and I shifted into music the same reason because I was obsessed with Childish Gambino.
Hmm.
So everything he did, I was like, I want to do that too. I'm gonna do that too. So he was like, he got into music, and I was like, well, I write poetry. I can do music too. So I idolized that man for a long time.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah,
eerie talented. Like,
yeah.
I mean, like I think that's what you. I mean, that's the same thing you're doing. Your comedy, and then I think also music. I think it's actually just it's like you said, poetry. It's all really kind of merged into one, but it just
Hmm.
in different ways. And I'm curious, like what, like your sound. Have you figured out your sound, and what would you call it? Like your
I have not. I have not. And
mm,
it's such a big problem where I keep trying to, because when you're submitting to playlists and you're trying to work with people, it's really hard to sell the kind of music that I have. So that's why I'm really appreciative of the fact that I have people that really support my music. I don't like saying fans, but I have a lot of support of people who just keep coming back and listening to the new stuff, because I'm really hard to sell, like when I'm pitching the playlist. And same with like labels and managers, I've been really hard to work with, because they're like, hey, are you gonna sing? If you're gonna sing, then we want you to do this. Or are you
mm.
gonna rap? Or if you're gonna rap, we need you to do this. So I move around so much in my music and what I try to accomplish in it. So I really don't know what my sound is.
Ah, no, I think I personally, as a filmmaker, and I went to school for cinematography originally, and I direct and stuff now. But like I find that a lot of people wanted to put me in like a genre, like this is what you're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be, and that's it. And I'm so curious at nature, so I want to do all these other things because I'm like, why not? Like,
Mm-hmm.
isn't that what being a creator is?
Yeah, and then so many people are like, they get in their box and they get so comfortable to like, oh, this works, this sells, and then they keep repeating the same formula. And I tried that, but like it started to kill my passion in music, to where it just got to the point it has not been fun. So this
Mm,
year I made it a mission, kind of late last year, I made it a mission, like I really want to enjoy what I'm doing, or I'm gonna go back to work. So I went back to work, and I work two jobs now for the state, but I'm starting to get my passion back a lot. So I said I'm a tour next year. I'm gonna go back out there because it started to
sweet.
get fun again.
Yeah. How was that for you during the pandemic when the whole shutdown? I know being, I was in Los Angeles and I was just like, okay, this is gonna suck. Because I didn't know what to do. So I started a podcast, which was this one that I'm doing now. What was something for you? Like, how did you find yourself, or how did you get out of that and like being more like, were you kind of like depressed during that time, and how did you get out of that depression?
Yeah, well, I had at that time I was already, I don't know if this is like, triggering or bad to say, but I was already going through depression and very
Mm.
suicidal and
Oh, I'm
on
so
and off with
sorry.
attempts and stuff. And I was just dealing with a lot that I was like really forcing upon myself to take on.
Hmm.
So when COVID hit, I had already been working my way through depression. And in
Mm.
that I opened for Dana Carvey, the guy
Oh,
Garth from Wayne's World, and
yeah.
I bombed bad, like very bad, because 5 minutes before I went on, they said, "Hey, no jokes about this, 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 or this," and that was my whole set. So
Oh,
out of a 15-minute set, I got like 5 minutes in, and then just crashed. So that made me step back, and then personal life was just beating me up. So I was already on the internet when COVID hit. So when
mm,
everybody was touring and stuff like that, I was already doing the live shows. I was already really well versed in like how I was networking online and using my platform. And I wasn't trying to tour. So everybody had to come to my level, which made it really good for me. I got so much opportunity, and it really like threw my career ahead because of COVID, when everybody
mm.
had to come to my level. So it worked out a lot for me, and it helped me also be able to work from home to deal with everything I had, to where I feel like now I'm completely out of depression and a lot of
That's
those negative
wonderful.
thoughts. So it was really good for me.
Wow, that's awesome. I'm so glad that happened and you
Thank
found
you.
your way out of that. That's a absolutely amazing thing. Would you now I was listening to some of your music and I was like, I couldn't help but think. I was like thinking like a song with SZA and you on that thing would be so fire. Like, I don't know, like I could just see it. Like, I'm putting that out into putting that to speaking that to
Put it out
existence.
there. I have a manifestation list of artists that I
Yeah.
want to work with, and she's on it. Like I had such a crush on her when she had the red hair. Like
Oh,
I was in middle
yes.
school and I had a poster of her, and I was just like, bro, like that was my girl. When she first came out, I was hypnotized by her.
Oh, she's absolutely phenomenal, and beautiful, beautiful queen. Um,
Hmm.
do you think the industry, as far as like music or just entertainment in itself, do you think it's changing for the better, and it's giving artists more of like, there are they treating artists properly and fairly? Do you think it's getting better in that sense?
Yes and no. It's getting better because the same reason I think it's getting better, I think it's also getting worse because now it's so many opportunities for everybody to do it. So the market is so diluted,
Hmm.
which makes it to where labels know, like, okay, TikTok, this works. So they'll grab a bunch of artists that are trending on TikTok for the moment or whatever, lock them into a box and say, this is what you're doing, or you're not releasing anything. And they're just kind of shut down and then they get stagnant and then they get forgotten. But it's good because so many people can do it. You don't need a label anymore. You can't, like, me, I've worked with labels, but I'm having such a good time just working in my room, in my studio. Sorry if you hear my cat screaming, just having her, like, just sitting and being able to do everything myself. So today's the good thing about today and the bad thing is, like, now for me, I don't need a label, I don't need a manager. I can do everything by myself and everybody else can too.
Yes, I love that. I love that that self, like that's what that's I guess that what you would categorize as like like for me, I do indie, a lot of indie. So I taught myself how to edit. I taught myself all these things. But obviously, I went to school for a lot of this one degree, but I wanted to learn every other aspect because at one point, like people, you have to do it yourself. You know,
And
it's
props to
like
you. That takes a ton of patience.
thank you. Yeah, like it was just like whether it was either sink or swim kind of thing, you get out
Hmm.
of college and you're finished film school and they're like, okay, go make a movie. And you're just like,
Hmm.
so you kind of have to know everything in order to keep everything all or know something about these parts. But I love that you know these things and it's self-taught, would you say?
Yeah, I kept getting, I would have a really positive, really good thing happen, and then it was what's next, and I would
Mm.
get stuck for a while. Just I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I can make another song and put it out, but then it's just making songs and putting it out, and I didn't have no kind of strategy. So that was something I had to teach myself. Sit down, make a plan, like actually plan stuff out, and everything had to be like taught down to like me dreading my hair. I had to learn how to dread myself because
What?
when you don't have people around, you just kind of and you want something, you can't wait too long because time hits really hard.
Oh my gosh, yes. It really, it really does. And like I like what you said that, that everybody can do this as well. I feel like there's no excuse now to do whatever now because social media is such I mean, like you said, everything is at our fingertips opposed to what it was before years ago. I'm so grateful to where we are now because like you said, everything is so accessible and right there. You can distribute your own,
Hmm.
music on platforms nowadays, which is really, really cool. But also you can also get lost in the shuffle of all the music. So just have to find that niche of your supporters to like go and
Hmm.
like I find it like I have a lot of I find that interesting too. I still kind of struggle with that is like how to like navigate and have your supporters go to this thing of like go and buy
Hmm.
it. Like that's the support, like not liking my photos, just that. It's like also
I
go
found
and
I found out it's you have to, like what I did. And same way with me and you, I go out on hashtags, I go out through everything, and I'll actually like pay attention to your stuff.
mm,
That's all everybody wants. So with you, with everybody I meet on Instagram, I like every picture, and I don't just like it. I'm gonna read the caption. I'm paying
Love that.
attention to everybody because for one, I can grow from it, and I can
Mm,
learn something from it. But also, you return the favor. You meet people, you network, you make friends all over the place. That's how I like right now. I have a song that's trending in Australia,
nice.
and I've never been to Australia, but I've made a ton of friends online in Australia to where I have people I say I love you to now all
Oh,
over the world just because I don't even just network. I really just build friends on here. That's why I don't like saying fans because I really just reached out and made a personal connection with all of the people that listen to my music. So then they'll help spread it, and I don't mind. Like I love being able to spread their stuff. So like I've made a ton of playlists and stuff. If I can
awesome.
help you in any way, I'm going to because we all need each other. And I learned early that the people you have up close, like I'm from a small town, and nobody here supports my stuff.
Wow.
They just kind of so I've been making music 9 years and doing stand up for like 11, and
Wow.
they just now caught on to me this year. So it's kind of like I had to go out there. I had to leave home and not wait on
Mm,
people.
mm-hmm. Wow. That is so wild that they're just now. Do you think it's because it's such a small town and everyone's not used to something so big or large or grand, grand on the scale? Because I think in a small town, because I'm from Florida originally, but
Hmm.
I left home. I left quickly after high school. I was like, I gotta get out of here. Like, it's not gonna happen here.
Hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
I get that. I felt that way from the beginning. I felt like I didn't belong here, but not in a bad way. Like I love the people, and they're really nice people. And I do the same thing where, a friend of mine or somebody I know might be like, hey, I released a song and like maybe in high school and be like, hey, I'm gonna be a rapper and I have this song out. And you're like, oh yeah, yeah, I listen to it, it's that and this. But it's kind of like you're not really thinking about it. And I don't know the exact root of that, but you're like, I mean, cool, everybody's a rapper. Like I'm not gonna listen to it.
Right.
But then when you do it, you like, why nobody listening to me? I think it's just because you know the people and I don't know.
I get that too. Like when I finally did I guess what do you call a major project? Everyone from the hometown are like, "Oh my God, I knew you would do it." And you're just like, I've been doing this for like 15 years. But okay, great. Thank you so much. So I have a few more questions. I promise we'll get you out of here.
I am in no rush. We're good.
I love
Hmm.
I love talking about the success stories, which are great and fantastic. But were there times that uh did you ever fall out of love with music ever or no?
So many times, and so many times it hit me to where it was like, this just it isn't working for me.
Mm,
Like, and then God will show me something up happen, or I'll have a realization on what I have that I know a lot of people aren't fortunate enough to have in the industry, and then
mm,
I'll kind of step back and reevaluate. But I think about giving up all the time. I've
mm.
fallen out of love with music so many times. Like even just now, I put out I did a song a week for like 2 months.
Wow.
And before that, when I recorded those songs, this label reached out to me, and it's like I would give them a song. Like I gave them the song Sarah Lynn, and that song means so much to me. And they really just spit it back in my face and was like, I mean, it's good for somebody else, but for your
Mm,
brand, it's not really all that. And we don't want you to do this. We want you to go in a different direction. And that hurt me to the point where I felt like I've had so many people tell me like, if you don't go my direction, then it's not gonna work for you. And I buy
mm,
into it every time. So after that, I was just like, you know what? Maybe music isn't gonna work for me. And then I was like, I'm gonna try just rapid releases and try to manipulate Spotify. And that worked and it was fun. And I had one song like in the chamber, and I was like, this would be a great last song. And that was my most recent release, Someone I Knew, where I felt like it was exactly what I wanted to say. I've never really been able to vocalize how I wanted to say, like, bye to music. And I wanted to do it on a orchestra level scale.
mm.
And because I love working with orchestras like Sarah Lynn, a lot of my songs, I try my best to do it. So that was going to be like my bye song because I enjoyed making it. I loved it. But I was like, it's not fun anymore. And I don't think I can keep doing this. I can't afford to keep doing this.
Mm.
And then a label reached out and was like, hey, give us 4 songs and we'll see if they work, this, that, and this. So I recorded some more. Sorry. I recorded some more. I tried to make myself like it. But I noticed like I made 5 songs this past like couple of weeks and I'm just not like feeling them right now. So like right now is a moment where it's just like I'm not like I'm having so many problems on the like distribution side of stuff right
Mm.
now. So
Mm.
I'm just not I'm not having fun right now. So I'm gonna step back for a while in the new year.
And
But
just
you know,
kind
it
of,
comes and goes.
yeah, wow. No, and that's real. That's real. And I think that's honest. I think in our journeys, no matter where we are in our journeys and or how much we've done and all the progress they've made, there it is that continuous thing that we're working on is like trying to figure out,
Mm,
okay, the next step. And like, yeah, I think it's just one of those things is how do you reinvent yourself and to continue to reinvent yourself. And it's okay to step away from it, and, which I absolutely admire that you do, is stepping away from something when it doesn't feel right or authentic at that moment. And you're like, nope, I'm gonna take a step back because I do the same thing. I feel like it's very important to know when to step away and then live life for a bit. And then I'm
and
sure life will be
every
there.
time I think to do it, I hear that song. You got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, because I don't want to make like right now the songs that I just made. When it becomes about money, like hey, we want you to make these songs and we're gonna give you this much, then it's like okay, it's a job. So you're not really like feeling what you're saying. And I felt myself just recording songs and just trying to have something to put out that was gonna be ready. So I wasn't enjoying it, but there's this guy, I think it's Chekhov. It's like Russia had their version of Shakespeare. I watched this podcast, this guy was talking about it, and I read through a bunch of his stuff, and he talks about, I think it's the seagull, where he told this lady that she was his seagull, and he killed it and gave it to her as a gift. He chased her for so long and could never get her. And what the guy summarized it to, and what I agree with him, was the seagull represents like your passion, like the thing you really want. And it's great to never catch it and just keep trying and you keep looking at it and you keep admiring it and you're like, I love that thing. I want to get close to it. I will someday. But the only way you can get it is to kill it. So
Mm.
for me, when I got like when I started to accomplish and get stuff I wanted in music, it felt dead to me.
Mm.
So when I gave up and was like, my passion has always been childcare. So like I've been substituting for a little bit and I work for a nonprofit right now, working with siblings in foster care. And it's like
Wow.
something on the side, but it also kind of can make me feel something every so often. So when I like put music on a back burner and I go and actually experience life, whether it's positive or negative, then it kind of completely reshapes my mindset to where I can kind of come back into music when I'm ready and I can feel refreshed and I'll have something I can actually feel and talk about. Because no matter at the end of the day, my main goal in music is to have a good subject matter. I'm
Mm.
done trying to make like negative songs. I don't want to talk about like how bad I'm feeling and all of that kind of stuff. I don't want to do that anymore because it feels good to vent, but at the same time, I don't want to be responsible for somebody else's negativity. So if they're
Mm.
listening to me on repeat and I'm constantly putting bad stuff into them and they're singing along, meaning their words of affirmation is also negative, I don't want to do that anymore. So I
Mm.
have to, if I'm not feeling good, I can't make a song. I have to like
Wow.
really be in that moment and feel it for me to want to do something. So that's why I'm taking a break. I want to really like come back with fresh eyes and fresh, like a fresh heart with it all.
I
Which
love
sounds
that.
cliche, sounds bad, but I really do.
No, that's beautiful. I love that. Absolutely love that. And kudos to you for stepping away and I'm sure you're gonna come out with something amazing when you come back. So hey,
I
don't be
hope
gone
so.
too long. Um,
I don't know how long I'll be like because creativity comes and goes.
yeah.
So I have some stuff like I can put out, but I don't know, I want to do something instead of just being in my room all day, like, making a song. I want to like see what else is out there. So I'm finna play around a little bit.
I love that. I love that. It's beautiful. I like to ask this question with every guest, and there's no wrong answer. But if you could choose one, which one would you choose? Loyalty or
Mm.
respect, and why?
Um, I would choose loyalty because the best example I can give is right now with the whole Kanye thing.
Oh
Kanye
yeah.
was Kanye was the first non-gospel song that I was like that I used to play. Like he used to like I thought everything was gospel music until I met him. So I listened to him, and he has always been inspiration, big role model to me. And with everything going on, I don't necessarily respect everything he says, and I don't agree with him with everything he does, but I'm loyal to him to where I'm not going to talk bad on his name. And I want
Mm.
people to have that same mentality when it comes to me, to where it's like, I might not agree with you, but I'm not going to bash your name. So when people talk bad on him, it's like, I feel you believe what you believe. I get it. I understand, but I'm just not going to.
I love that. That's beautiful. I love that.
Thank you.
I like how you put that. I absolutely agree with that 100%. I feel like, it's like what Dave Chappelle said, when you call someone crazy, it's dismissive. It's very
Mm-hmm.
you don't know. You don't we will never know the actual true story because we're not that, that person. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, definitely. I like that a lot. If you could give any advice to someone that's listening, the listeners out there, someone that listens to this podcast, and yeah, what that wants to get in the industry and do what you're doing, what would that look like?
Um, be silly, have fun. My biggest flaw has always been I've tried to look so cool online to where if I'm not looking cool, if I'm not feeling cool, I don't want to post, so I don't show my face on nothing. But have fun with what you're doing. Don't try to put up this persona or brick wall. Just be yourself, however yourself is. If you're a nerd, be a nerd. Post how you want, feel how you want, because at some point it's gonna click. And if it clicks with you being this super cool person, then you're stuck and you're gonna be scared to be yourself. And that's where I'm at now. So don't follow that. Don't follow that road.
I love that. That's great advice. That's wonderful advice. Are you working on anything that you like to share, and or are you where can people find you on social and so where can people find you on social media as well?
I'm working on new music right now. I don't know when it'll come out. I know I have to turn it in January, but I don't know when they're gonna release it. Um, my main project right now is Cautionary Fairy Tale, and it features this girl, Boy Junior. She's phenomenal. And I released at the same time another song, Someone I Knew, that features this great composer, Timothy Williams. He helped on a couple of instruments. And on social media, I'm CerVon Campbell on everything. Instagram, I'm Sex Monkey Limo Driver. I wish I could change it, but that's who I am on there.
I like it. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And it was a pleasure talking to you and
Thank you for
getting to know
having
about
me.
your journey. Oh yeah, of course. Thank you so much. And yeah, thank you all for listening. And always remember to live, love, love. See you guys later.